Hear
Whoa.
you. Nice. Beautiful. I'm getting sounds. Can you hear yourself?
I can hear myself.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very professional. Very nice. Very nice. All right. All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Jameson on the Rocks podcast. Today we have Mr. Bradley Reeves with us. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing quite well. How are you, Jameson?
I'm so good. I'm happy to see you, man. It's been too long.
I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, man. I'm glad we could work out a date. You're the first guest of 21.
Wow.
And you're the 20th episode. I mean, come
fair.
on. That's very
fair.
nice, right? Can't beat that.
Mhm.
Well, I'm glad to have you. We're going to talk about a shit ton of music things today, I'm sure. Don't really have any topics at hand. I'm sure we'll just figure them out. But what have you been doing? Well, give us a little backstory on your music. You know what I mean? Like, I know you've played in some bands, of course. You worked at the 40 Watt. You do something with the Truckers, right? Is that
Yes.
still a thing?
Yes.
I guess you can go in chronological order, though. I didn't mean to cut in front, but you know what I mean. Just get us started.
Sure. So I've basically had one band per year that I've been here.
And you've been here 4 years, 3 years?
Yeah, it was my fourth.
Yeah.
So freshman year was this band called Darsana. We weren't all that good, but we do have some stuff out on streaming services. I was pretty impressed by that. We got
What kind of music you talking?
Kind of like indie pop bedroom stuff.
Very cool. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know you'd done that. That's awesome.
You know, it was a while ago. I don't talk too much about it anymore.
So it's
but,
your secret band pass.
Well, because ever since then I've moved much more towards like harder stuff, and it's like that's what I want to like have out there, you know.
You're hiding your pop past.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There's nothing wrong with that. Keep going. What was next?
Then sophomore year was this band called Peter Street.
Peter Street. That's a cool name.
That's probably the shortest lived one.
Yeah.
We didn't get anything out on streaming services. The
Gotcha.
band just kind of fell apart
Which
after
happens.
we had this terrible show at Georgia Tech SAE.
Oh yeah.
They hired us for $500, and it was the worst thing we've ever done. Our lead singer just got way too hammered, finished a fifth on stage.
No.
It was bad.
Yeah. Was it a 3-hour gig? I assume, like a cover band gig kind of thing. That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
And they gave us $200, and honestly, I was surprised they gave us that. Because basically what ended up happening was he just got too drunk to perform in the first place, so
Gotcha.
he just had to go somewhere else in the house. And then the four of us just kind of played. We were 2 guitar players, a drummer, and a bass player. No singer. We just kind of like played our songs.
That's so classic, man.
But it was
Love
fun.
Yeah.
So that band kind of like transformed into my junior year band
Okay.
with 3 of those members, including myself.
Honeymoon Handshake, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
I remember
sir.
this band. I remember seeing you guys. That was cool.
And that was definitely a big step.
What were you guys considered, like, genre-wise? Were you, I don't even know what, I mean, just like rock, southern rock, something
We
like
were a
that?
rock and roll band.
Yeah, you're rock, right?
We definitely had some like indie vibes, I would
Uh-huh.
say, mostly just because our singer had a much kind of like softer voice.
Mhm.
Really, really good though. Just
Yeah?
better suited for like
I remember
kinda, like,
thinking that he was
Radiohead
good.
stuff.
Yeah, okay,
Liked it.
okay. I remember you ripping a solo at Nusi Space. I was like, I could play.
Thanks, dog. I appreciate that. That was fun.
Yeah. And how long did that last? What happened with that?
Well, one of the members graduated.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Well, 2 actually, and it was just me and the bass player, and I kind of could tell that we both kind of wanted to do different
Yeah.
things.
Gotcha.
Um,
That's understandable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
it's
that's
very
reasonable.
amicable,
It's so hard to find people that are into exactly what you're into, I've always thought.
especially at
Is
the
that
same
just me?
time.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, like somebody who's just right there with exactly what you like
Mm-hmm.
to listen to, which is crazy. But
It really is like you're dating.
that's exactly.
That is
I
the
always say that,
closest
man.
thing.
I always like, dude, it's like having 3 girlfriends or 4 girlfriends, depending on how many people's
Mm-hmm.
in the band. But it's like the same thing. Like it's crazy, man. I'm glad you said that 'cause I say that all the time. But it's when done properly, apparently it works nicely.
Oh
So,
yeah.
But yeah. So honeymoon handshake. When does this end? I mean, I kind of remember it.
Ended around
Maybe
about a year ago, I think.
say last fall, last December.
Yeah, I think it was the end. It was like last December, maybe
Okay,
November
okay.
or so. And then honestly, that was one of my biggest periods with music right after that, just
Yeah.
because up until then I was really doing kind of simple stuff, music theory wise,
Yeah.
and just using like as much delay and reverb as possible to cover up all my mistakes. And after that, I just realized I wanted to be in a band that was better than Honeymoon
Yeah.
Handshake. Nothing against Honeymoon Handshake. It was a great band.
That's a
learned lot,
natural
but-
progression. You know what I mean? Yeah, of course.
And so I just worked on learning as much as I could,
Yeah.
especially around funk music, which
Yeah.
is like my new
I know.
favorite.
I know. I've
thing
heard
in
you
the
talk
entire
about
world.
this. You're into the funk now, right?
Yes, sir.
When you say funk, what do you mean? Like, educate me on as someone who doesn't know funk very well.
So, well, in the 70s, there was a huge movement towards funk, mostly or my favorite funk band from that period was definitely Funkadelic.
Funkadelic. I've definitely heard of them. I just haven't listened. I'm gonna write them down.
They're one of my favorites. And one of my favorite things about them is they approached music in more of like a collective mindset. So instead of having just like a 4-person band, like this is the band and this is what we do.
Yeah.
I think they really, really popularized the idea of having just a big ass band and playing with as many
Kinda
people
like the
as
Dead?
possible.
Isn't the Dead same
very,
concept,
very
right?
similar idea.
Yeah, okay. I think that's cool though.
And so like whenever they'd be in a new city, they would bring out as many people as they knew from that city to come play with them, like different horns, guitar players, all sorts of things.
So is it like a jam thing too? Like do they jam a lot, or is it like here's a 3-minute song and they play it? Or
so much more the first.
Yeah, okay.
I think they definitely had a large part in creating the jam scene because that's just what
awesome.
Jam is all about, playing with as many people, like not being exclusive or anything like that.
That's
Everyone's
awesome.
invited to play, you know.
That's very cool. I like that about it. I think that's very nice. And I think it's impressive, like just some of the talent that these fucking guys have to just go like play. Just walk up there and like, all right, whatever they play, I'm gonna play with them. That's kind of ballsy, I think. I've always thought at least.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I'm used to like having my 3-minute, like I know what I'm gonna do here, and I kind of do it, and I'll throw something here and there. But like,
but there's beauty in that. There's beauty in all of these things.
I'd say so. Yeah, it's very cool. I've been trying to actually. I think it was you that was not educating me, but just telling me about the jam thing one night, and I was like, man, I really need to get into that. I think it was you because we were talking about nugs, right? I think it was you because I was like, damn, this is kind of interesting. I need to get into it, and I've been getting more and more into it, but I haven't fully converted over yet. I'm not a full jam hammy. Or
that works.
What do you call it? Give me some jam ham slang. What do you call yourself?
Let's say the most common term is probably a wook, but that also goes for EDM people. Honestly, it primarily probably goes for EDM people.
WOOK?
Yes, as in like Wookie. And it's not like a derogatory term in the slightest. Some people use it that way.
How does it go for EDM and jam?
Well, because lots of those people are the same fans. That's one thing that I've learned from working at the 40 Watt. People who like jam band music tend to like just about everything.
That's cool.
There's people who enjoy music and are satisfied with basically anything.
I respect that.
Yeah, for sure.
I try to be like that. Like I try to not be like, oh, I don't like that genre. I try. If it's a good song, it's a good fucking song. I don't care what genre it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can learn something from all genres.
Absolutely, yeah. I'd agree. So, okay, you said I got lost there for a second. All right, Funkadelic. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yes.
So they kind of came on the whole collective jam thing. And that any other bands in that era that you're big into that I need to listen to? Because I haven't. A lot of people talk about the funk thing, and I haven't like tried to dive into it yet. I've been trying to dive into the jam, but it's kind of the same thing, right?
I would look up Sly and the Family Stone. And then honestly, Pink Floyd, especially from the Echoes period.
I've seen a lot of debate about this. Is Pink Floyd a jam band? I've seen a lot of that. Is it? I mean, what would you say?
So my only criteria when it comes to what a jam band is and what a jam band is not is just improvisation.
Okay.
I feel like lots of people compare like a jam band to just like any band that has like guitar, bass, drums, keys, maybe some horns. And
I can see that.
Like occasionally has and then occasionally has like a guitar solo that goes longer in like 30 seconds. And that's not exactly what it is. I would definitely say there are aspects of Pink Floyd that helped begin the jam band movement, but I wouldn't classify Pink Floyd as a jam band, with the exception of their earlier years with Syd Barrett, because that stuff was
sorta
jam.
Yeah.
But I would say most of that was just because they didn't really know what they're playing, and they're just kind of like doing it, as opposed to where they went later in their career, you know, with like Wish We Were in Dark Side.
Yeah, Dark Side and stuff. Very, I guess, calculated, right? But freaking awesome. Yeah, very cool. I knew you liked Pink Floyd.
Oh, yeah.
I heard Money last night on the radio. I was like, yeah, it's a good song. I think it's, Money. Money. I like the little change noises in it, like the little slot machines. No, that's just a hit, but who cares?
Hey, it's a great song.
It's a great song, yes. Okay. Favorite Floyd album? Just curious.
Wish You Were Here, for sure.
Yeah, dude, the cover on that one is so sick. The guy on fucking fire, that's awesome.
I have a shirt with it on it, too. That, maybe Animals, and of course Dark Side, but Wish You Were Here is definitely like my personal favorite.
I remember the band that came to Georgia Theater. I think it was a Pink Floyd cover band. I think I saw you there.
Oh.
What was that? Do you remember the name of that place? Or
the band, I think it's it's something Echoes.
Interstellar Echoes.
Interstellar Echoes.
That's it. Yeah, I thought they were cool from what I could see.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What'd you think?
I absolutely loved them. I think I've seen them 2 or 3 times in the theater, and every single time you'll see me just in the crowd with my eyes closed and just
the lights are killer. When did Floyd? I don't know that much technically about him. When did the whole lights thing become a thing with them? Was that part of their live show, or is that like a Laser Floyd thing?
Yes. So they're one of the first bands to really get into it, and I can't remember exactly what the guy's name is, but the like rock and roll light show started up like in the mid '60s. When this guy started mixing oil and water, like different colors of water, on like a projector screen, and then projecting it up like behind people. Yeah. So like lots of the first big shows that Pink Floyd played were at what's called the UFO Club, spelled UFO. And they would just improvise while they had all these crazy lights on them, and it was kind of like a widespreadly known thing that everyone would just come and do a fuck ton of LSD and. So that was like the beginning of it, and that's
definitely like evolved. A vibe changer with the lights, because they had the whole light set up for that band, and I was like, damn, I mean, this is kind of crazy looking. Very impressive. Very cool. Okay, so I didn't know that's how it started. What period does this start? Is this like, is there a certain album that this starts happening at? Do you know? Not to get too deep on the Floyd.
Earliest stuff.
Oh yeah, okay,
like Saucer Full of Secrets. And,
that's awesome. Okay, good to know. I'm gonna write that down too, because I was curious about that.
That's a cool album. I think that's the last that has Syd Barrett on it.
Okay. And
then David Gilmour
takes the Gilmour. Okay, sweet. All right, where was I at? Okay, got 3 bands from the funk. All right, nice. So, where was I going with this? What else you listen to? You listen to funk? I'm sure you're into some other stuff. What you got jamming around in there? Just throw them on me.
So, I am massively obsessed with Humphreys McGee. By far my favorite band.
I'm going to have to write them down. Yeah, I hear a lot about this in the Athens Jam Ham chat. I'm seeing them in there all the time.
They are...
What are they?
So, they're a 6-piece from South Bend, Illinois, and they do absolutely every style of music.
Really? You don't see a lot of bands out of South Bend, do you? Or South Bend, right?
Not that I know of, but it's not that far from Chicago. So they also kind of treat that as like their home base as well. But they just do every style of music that you could possibly consider, and they usually hit on just about every genre in every live show they play. But like their main thing is definitely like the heavier, harder, progressive rock.
Really?
They definitely get like some metal.
Damn, I didn't know that. I kind of thought of them as like the Southern rock jam kind of. I never listened to them.
They do everything. And that's like the confusing thing about them, because you could just listen to like one song by them and you're like, oh, okay, they're that kind of band. But
I've seen some clips of them on Facebook, and it was like more softer stuff, I guess. But I haven't seen many. I haven't divulged in yet, if that's a word.
What I like about them most is, so I like heavy metal, I like harder rock stuff, but too. A lot of it has just really like screamy vocals, and I'm personally not all that into that side of metal. Whereas Humphreys McGee, the lead singer, Brendan Bayliss, is like, he's basically like an indie rock singer. Yeah, like a softer voice. Don't get me wrong, like he can do some harder stuff, but like
I never would have guessed that they were heavy at all.
Oh,
like Humphreys McGee sounds like such a Southern rock jam band name.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
You wouldn't expect it at all.
Well, shit, I might have to listen to them then, man.
I'd say that's like probably that's their biggest genre. I'd say, like, if I had to put it on one genre, it'd be progressive metal. But like they do all sorts of songs in their set, and what I love about them. Another thing that I love about them is that like they have lots of like softer, happier moments, like feel good moments in their sets. Yeah. But they will always follow them up with just the most insane, tightly knit progressions, like unlike anything you've ever heard before.
That's cool. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to listen to them. Do you have any suggestions on albums or live shows or anything like that for them?
So they're actually an outlier. Most jam bands is kind of just like the cliche that. You gotta listen to them live. Their studio albums aren't all that good. But Humphreys has some really
good studio albums. Yeah.
Yes, but their live shows are definitely the way to go. So what they do is every year they allow their fans to vote on different versions of different songs for each year, and then they release like a whole live album from the year.
That's very cool. I kind of want to do that. What do they call it? Is it like 2020 collection or something?
They're called Hall of Fames. Then they just released the 2021. It's
pretty sweet. All right, well, I'm gonna have to listen to that. So they record everything they do. I guess that's kind of the thing with jam bands, right? Like they just record everything and they go ahead and put it out, right? No matter what. I think that's awesome because like I'd be like digging through the YouTube looking for stuff, from bands in the 70s or whatever. And why wouldn't you though? You know, like why not? Like who cares?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like I don't really get the whole like people having vaults full of shit, like just vaults full
Just
of.
get it out there.
Yeah,
What's
like
the
who
purpose in
fucking
having
cares?
music if people aren't going to hear it?
Exactly. Like, what are you saving it for? Like we want to hear it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess maybe that's starting to go away some. Hopefully, I know a lot of people are doing like the demo releases and like the what do you call it? Like a 25th anniversary album.
Yeah,
You know, they do the demos.
I think that's so cool.
I think that's cool too. I love listening to those live ones. And they don't have to be amazing. You know what I mean? Like not all of them have to be like just masterful live productions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I'll listen to anything if it sounds. You know what I mean? Just try it if it's a cool band.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's cool. That's a good idea. I wish I could record every show I play. You know what I mean? Like I wish. Don't you wish you had every show you ever play recorded?
That'd be incredible.
That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? God, it'd be so fun. I mean, like just to listen back 2 years ago, that'd be nice. And we actually did get our last show recorded, which is great because I just fucking dove into the stems. I was like, yeah, this is awesome. I'll listen to this in like 5 years and it'll be like, yes, that was so much fun.
It'll take you right back to where you were.
Yeah, it's great. Great. I love live recordings, man. I'm big on those. So, you said they do have studio albums I should check out, or check out the live first?
I would check out live first,
Yeah.
but I mean, they're both
can't go wrong with either.
Yeah.
Okay. Which studio album would you suggest? I'm taking notes here.
Zonky. Probably.
Zonky. How do you spell it?
Like donkey, but just with a Z.
Oh, nice. I was gonna spell it like Zoinks with a Y. Zoinky. That's Zoinky. Okay, yeah.
That and then maybe Local Band does okay. It's their first album. Some of their greatest songs on there.
That's a cool album name. Local Band.
See, that's one thing that I like about them. They don't take themselves all that seriously. Like their music can be like very, very intense and serious, but like they're always up there just laughing, having a good time.
I love that. It's much better than I don't. Well, another thing about jam bands is a lot of them don't really move around the stage. You ever notice that? It's kind of like a static thing. Would you agree or disagree?
For the most part, yes. Mostly because they're just focused on
like they're just doing shit and like that's my least favorite part about it because I like people running around and shit, but like
I know you like that.
You know, but like it's just kind of my shtick, I guess. But like I just wish some of them would move more, but not their thing, so they don't have to, obviously. But just an observation. So. Humphreys McGee. I think we covered that pretty well. That's dope. I'm definitely going to listen to them. Pink Floyd. All right, sweet. So we can get back to your music. I didn't mean to stray too far, but that was fun. That was fun. What is in your playing? You said you've been going into theory a lot more, right? Or music theory, right? Like just kind of, you trying to learn more scales, or what are you trying to do with it? Like a better understanding of so you can jam better?
Yes. So that's what I'm finding. Like all these bands that I love, like Humphreys McGee, Goose, Fish, lots of what they're doing is based off of not necessarily changing the key, but changing the mode or like the tonal center of where they are.
That's interesting.
So you'll start off one song in focusing on one note in a scale, and then for the next transition or something, you'll switch to focusing.
See, how do you guys do that without knowing you're going to do it? Or do you guys do you have your mode set that you're going to change to? You know what I mean? I assume you don't, right?
Sometimes transitions are like that, but what most big jam bands will do is they'll have hand signals.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, I don't know for sure, but I've seen Humphreys do it in a way that would definitely lead me to believe they have different hand signals that relate to different intervals in music, which so obviously
like
correspond,
fifths and sevenths,
which all correspond to just the different modes. So that's how they switch lots of the time, I think.
A minor,
but still, it's like mind blowing. I have no idea how they do that. All crazy. On the fly. Everyone knows exactly what to play next.
Well, is Humphreys? Do they have a set lineup?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not like it's a collective thing, right?
Yeah, they got a 6-piece. But another one of those elements that I like is just having like your basis of 5, 6, 7 people or however many.
Yeah.
And then just again, whenever you're in a new city, playing with whoever you can. That's one thing Humphreys does all the time.
Yeah.
Just about every show or every other show, they'll have someone come up, especially if they're doing like a festival set. They'll almost always bring people up and.
Well, that's cool. I mean, it seems like it'd be tough to do it without your bass unit, though, right? Don't you think?
Yeah, so that's definitely hard.
So, like, the guys are kind of just hopping on with the bass unit, right? Like the usual 6 guys, right? That seems like it'd be easier because, like, then like I couldn't imagine just playing with a drummer. I didn't really know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Well, they almost always keep Chris Myers on the kit. Gotcha. He's their main drummer. So, like, sometimes they tend to only add. Like, I've seen them do, for example. Phil Lesh came to a show, I think it was in 2016 maybe. And Humphreys is definitely more like Zappa than like Dead-ish, I would say. According to them, not to me actually. and he asked if he could come play with him like during their set break. And keep in mind, like the band doesn't know all that much Grateful Dead, and he came out there and replaced Ryan Stasek, who's their bass player. And right when I saw it, I was a little bit worried, just because like if I was one of those musicians, I'd be nervous considering all right, we're playing this with this new rhythm section we've never played before. But obviously the recording was absolutely incredible to pull it off. That's entirely
awesome. What'd you say? What year was that?
I think it was 2016. If you look up just Humphreys with the Dead, you'll probably find it. They've also played with Bob Weir, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. For the Dead, that was one of the main ones I've been trying to get into. And I saw this, you might have seen it. There's this ski video online that's like Dead themed, and like they worked on it together somehow.
A ski video?
Yeah, like it's maybe not ski, I guess, but like snowboard. It's like just a vibey 30-minute video where Dead music is playing and like they're skiing through crazy mountains and shit. And like somehow the Dead had something to do with it. Like they worked on it together. But it was really cool. I was like, okay, this makes sense. Yeah. Like when I saw it and I heard it, I was like, all right, I can get down with this.
Yeah, please send that to me.
I will. It's really cool watch. I thought it's in like some crazy state with like huge mountains and they're just skiing around to the Dead. It's perfect. So that's like the perfect vibe. So yeah, I've been trying to understand them more. I like the song. I think it might be their most popular one. Whichever one says, "We will get by, we will survive." What's the name of that song? Do you know that one?
I will survive. Trucking.
What is it called?
Trucking.
I think that's it. Yeah. Is that their biggest one?
Like
arguably,
that, maybe like Casey Jones or Casey Jones. Yeah, one of the two.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'm not super deep in on them yet either, but I'm trying. I'm working on it.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Dead. Unfortunately, it takes a minute. Yeah. Just because there's so much there,
Yeah, there was a Dead band that came to theater. It might have been the same night as the Pink Floyd. Do you remember this band?
Well, I'm pretty sure that band. Okay, I think Interstellar Echoes is only Pink Floyd, maybe, but I know there's another one that comes to the theater all the time that does both.
Okay, God, I feel like it might have been them. Well, maybe they were.
No, that's Cosmic Charlie.
That's it. Yeah,
Cosmic Charlie does both.
I saw them too, and at the time I didn't really get it, but I will admit I was a lot less open-minded for the whole jam thing back then. But I've warmed up to it, so I want to see them again now.
Oh yeah, I can't wait until
shows.
We see them again. Yeah.
Dude, oh my God, man! Any word from the 40 watt? I know you got your eyes on the inside in there, right?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing, bro. That's depressing, bro.
Nothing on the books. The 40 watt isn't even doing like private events.
What? Yeah. I figured they would. be doing live streams or something. Well, there's no money in that, I guess, but like.
Actually, I think they might have done one of those. But nothing.
What are your thoughts on the live stream? Do you like live streams?
I think it's incredible, like a way for artists to make money. Yeah. It's not the same as being a show, but fuck all those people who complain about it. Like, obviously, we want to be doing that, but like, it's okay that we do this in the time being.
This is way better than nothing, I think. Exactly. And I've done a couple. They're fun. You ever done one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun, aren't they?
And I love drive-ins too.
Yeah.
I just think.
Oh yeah, like drive-in shows.
Yeah.
Did you go to the Springhouse one?
No, I couldn't because
I wanted to go too.
What was I doing that?
I think it was holiday season. Like holidays were starting. I had to go home.
Anyways, I went to an Humphreys one.
Yeah.
Back in October.
Was it like a legit drive-in or like you had a booth?
What was it? The Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Oh, okay, cool. That's awesome.
And it was just kind of the deal, like you have 2 parking spots, one for your car, and then one for you guys to just kind of like hang out.
I think that's awesome. I'll take that any day over no show. That's great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It wasn't ideal. Like I wish it could have been like right up close,
shoulder to shoulder. Yes.
That's a hell of a lot better than nothing,
Yeah, man. I'm not hating on it, man. I'm thinking that like eventually, I talked about this on another podcast. I think the live stream thing is going to be like I guess that maybe the big bands, the jam bands might already be doing this, but like they play live and do they stream it too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, I think that's awesome.
So Nugs.net has been doing a lot of that.
Like they stream it live.
Yes.
I think that's so cool. Like, why not? It's more content. People get to watch.
And plus then you get to see, because lots of the time bands will have these streams like in really cool locations, or they'll even show like their practice space, like their home base, like their HQ.
That's awesome.
And I think that's like so cool. With Nugs.net, we had a couple, like we did a Mavericks one, and like the venue they had was like super, super cool. Obviously I'd rather be right up close, but again, for the time being,
we'll take it. We'll take
more
it.
Than okay.
Even after, I could see it still being a thing, like people doing an occasional live stream on Wednesdays or something, Actually, yesterday I was thinking about it because I just wanted to play, and I reached out to Flickr. I don't know if you've seen Flickr's been doing them. Have you seen that?
No. What have they been doing?
They've been doing like little, just like David Barbie did one. He live streamed him playing bass with somebody and stuff like that. I reached out to him. I was like, can I come do one, or like, you know what I mean? Like just like can we come play and record it and live stream it? And like, hey, this Saturday night we're gonna live stream. Everybody tune in if you're not doing anything. Mm-hmm. I think that's cool. Don't you? I mean, you get to play, sure. And I mean, it's like a practice. Mm-hmm. It's like a practice in front of people. So, and then you gotta have somebody on there like talking back to people like, "What's up, Bradley? You piece of shit. What's going on?"
Yeah, I love that too. I've done a couple. I've re-downloaded Instagram to do a couple Instagram lives, just me and the acoustic guitar, and it's so much fun, but honestly kind of hard to focus just because the entire time you're like trying to casually read what people are saying in there, and you know they're just trying to distract
and you're like staring, but you're trying to play too. But it's fun. I did one when Eddie Van Halen died. I was like, I'm gonna play every Van Halen riff I can, and that was fun. People were sending a bunch of songs that like you didn't expect your friends to know. So I was like, all right, this is cool. I'm cool with this. I got no beef with live streams. I think it'll be the future. Like somebody's gonna come play the Georgia Theater, and they're gonna have their camera set up in the middle, and they're gonna live stream it, and they're gonna have a guy hired who's commenting back like, yada, yada, yada. Here's what's next. I think that's going to be cool. So that's my prediction. Not very bold, but it seems obvious, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Content.
It's coming next.
Yeah, okay. So I don't even know where I was going. What were we talking about before that? Oh, 40 watt. 40 watt.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us how you got into the 40 watt. How'd you penetrate those walls?
Well, I actually started at the Georgia Theater.
I didn't know this. Yes. Doing what? Booking?
No, I worked as a marketing intern for like a month or two, and then I was fired.
Really? Uh-oh. Yes. For what? What'd you do, you crazy guy?
So, all this being said, I love everything about the Georgia Theater. I love everyone who works at the Georgia Theater, but I'm gonna say how it was.
Go ahead, man.
So, first off, I had to work pretty hard to get the internship in the first place. Yeah. I just emailed.
I imagine it's competitive.
Emily, who's the director of marketing, I believe. I just emailed her like 15 times. Finally got an interview and then got the position. And quite honestly, it wasn't exactly what I was expecting. I was expecting to do something more along the lines of what I do for the 40 watt now, but it was mostly just like grunt work and cleaning and things like that, which I understand. I mean, you gotta put in your time. That's just kind of what your first bit's gonna be like when you're working for a venue or someplace cool in the music industry.
I could totally see that.
And after several shifts, I asked if I was gonna be paid because the shifts were like sort of long. And when I was told no, I was just kind of like, oh, okay. I mean, that's not really a big deal. Like, I'm not here for the money or anything. And then the next shift I came in, and my boss told me that apparently some higher ups heard that like I asked about it and something about my attitude and.
Come on.
I was let go, and that was a very rough moment in the Bradley Reeves life experience so far.
There's nothing wrong with that though, man. I mean, if you're working long shifts, dude, I've I saw like the people that were interning through like Inbus there, they're working these like fat shifts, and I'm working too.
And they do a lot.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck, dude, I don't know if I'd want to do that for free. You know what I mean? Like. I love music. I love going to Georgia Theater and everything, but like I don't want to go there for free for 10 hours. You know what I mean, or something like that. But yeah, well, if anything, you keep it on your resume. You probably could. You could probably get away with it.
Probably. Like, I just might not list the time dates or something like that.
That's funny. So then, how do you get from there to 40 watt though? I assume internship as well, or no?
Well, basically, it's pretty informal, honestly. I just started emailing the incredible Evelina Vigo. Who's
such a nice lady.
Oh yeah,
she's
for
so
sure.
nice.
One of the nicest people I've met in the Athens music scene, easily. I found her email just through the 40 watt page, and I sent her a couple emails, and she responded to one and just asked me over to her house one day just to interview me, see what I was like. And it went perfectly. She basically said like, I'm looking for someone about your age, you know, just in college. Who can help fill some of the smaller dates that I don't need, like some of the Mondays, Tuesdays.
Of course, yeah.
Just with like local acts.
Perfect for you. I mean, like, that's dream come true, right?
Yeah, I know my eyes just lit up, and I was like, holy cow, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this right now. And after that, she basically just said, all right, you don't have to come in or anything, but whenever you get a show set up, just tell me the dates, the ticket price, the headlining, bios, everything, like band information and all that. So she honestly she couldn't have made it easier for me. So after that point, she would send me like an email with a bunch of open dates.
Yeah.
Far more than I probably deserved, especially just starting off.
How old were you at the time? 20?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shot in the dark for a big venue.
Yeah, not last summer, but the summer before, I believe. And I was nervous as hell. Holy cow, thinking like, how am I gonna fill this venue?
Am I gonna sell tickets?
But it's been nothing but
it's been pretty good.
A blessing since then. I mean, obviously the last couple months not included,
of course,
but
you'll be back to it. So that's awesome. That's a good story. Valina, is that how you say it? How do you say it? Valina? Okay. Mm-hmm. I've only met her a few times, but she came and talked in our class when I was like a freshman. It was like music business intro.
Yeah.
And I was
with Lowry?
Yeah, with Lowry. And she was such a great
they're married, right?
Yes, I do. Yes.
I didn't know that until like much later.
It took me a little while to figure it out. They didn't mention it when she came in and talked, but what was I gonna say about it? I remember just being like, damn, she's awesome. And she was just talking to me about after class. I was like, man, I'm gonna ask her about the 40 watt. And I was asking her, I was like, you ever need any help or anything? I gave her my email and stuff, and I was like, just curious how many tickets you have to sell to get booked. I remember she said something like 100. I was like, oh shit, maybe I could play 40 watt one day. That was like 4 years ago, and then you helped me out, goat. I see you out here. I see you out. I appreciate you, man. So that was full circle for me. But yeah, I've seen her a few times since then. She's always nice. That's all my comments on her. But yeah, it seems like you fit in really well there. You planning on staying, or are you gonna graduate?
As long as I can.
Yeah.
I don't think there would be enough work for me to do to stay on, but I mean, if they offered me a job, I would accept in a heartbeat.
In a second, yeah. I mean, if anything, you could do part time. I mean, I'm sure you could find some other work. Are you gonna stay in Athens?
I'm not sure. I'll probably be in Athens for the entirety of next year, and hopefully we're able to have shows safely by then. But
hopefully this year.
I mean, you never know. What I'm doing now is kind of like one of my main goals, like helping other people get to play shows and places. Really? It's just it's so much fun.
You mean booking?
You know? Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, you seem to be really good at it, and I know it's a lot of work because I was going to ask you about this too. What's your run us through the full booking process? You don't have to go too detailed or anything, but for someone who doesn't understand the booking process, as the booker, I know you got to deal with some shit. You got to deal with some questions and shit, and all that sort of stuff. Just tell me what the process is like of booking 3 college bands in Athens or out of towner. You know what I mean? Whatever.
So, I definitely started off just doing student bands, and at least
college
at that
stuff.
level, yeah. And at least at that level, it is so much easier than you would think. Yeah. It's really just a matter of finding bands that have some kind of fan base.
I can see that. Yeah.
So at first, it was really just me reaching out to all the people I knew in the music business program at Georgia, and just ask, do you want to play a show at some point at the 40 watt? And I was surprised. I got a very, very positive reaction to that.
Your Facebook friends started going up and shit.
Oh yeah, I got a good bit of messages after I updated my job info or whatever. And from there, at least on that level, the only hard part is dealing with people who haven't played much live.
Gotcha. What do you mean by that? A little more detail on that.
Just because some people don't really understand how
venue etiquette or
exactly.
Yeah, okay, I could see that.
Sometimes people can be a little rude over email, and not in a way that you think they're actually trying to be rude, just in a way that okay, I don't think you've done this before, and you're probably going to get to the venue the day of the show, and the sound people are going to be mean to you, and you're going to get kind of sad and butthurt about it. I had a band one time. So what I usually do, at least for small college bands from here, is we put 3 acts a night, just because you're almost definitely gonna hit the minimum of 100 people. Because if every band brings out 30-something people, you're gonna hit it.
Yeah.
And I remember it was the second out of 3, so they weren't the headliner. And it's always the headliner's job to make the poster. What we do is we tell the headliner of the night, make a poster, make it as cool as possible. You can use the 40 watt logo if you want. And then we print out 10 to 20 of them for them, and then just give them to them.
From around town and stuff.
Exactly.
I didn't know you guys print them out. Or do you get you guys have a printer, or you print
sometimes?
Them out?
There's just a print shop that's
very
across the street from the 40 watt.
Gotcha.
But anyways, I remember I got a text from one of the guys in the headlining band saying hey, because he had already sent me the posters, this beautiful poster, super excited to put it out everywhere. And it was hey, are we are we not headlining this show? And I was like, yes, you are. What on earth are you talking about? And he sent me a picture, like the second band of the night. So the one that was gonna like play before them, like made their own poster, entirely different design and everything. Had them as like the headliner. And I was just like, holy cow, what am I supposed to like? So I just texted the guy saying like, yo, why'd you do that, man? And, like I could tell like he didn't mean it to be snarky in the slightest. He wasn't trying to be rude. He just didn't know that like that's not what you do. So it's just like little things like that.
Yeah.
So honestly, after like the first like 7 or 8 shows, I got pretty used to just having to send a big email of just like intro stuff, especially for bands that you don't think have played much before.
I could see that. I imagine it's a little bit aggravating, like just people that don't really understand, I guess, like the process. And there is a lot of like as a band, sometimes it's like questions for days. Like, man, are we doing this? How long will you play for? Yada 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 yada.
And it's totally understandable.
Yeah. I try to keep them to a minimum though. Like whatever I can do not to get on this guy's nerves would be cool.
Yeah, especially with sound people.
Yeah, because they just want to go home. Like, you know what I mean? Like when we're sound checking, like it took me a little long to sound check the first time. I felt kind of bad. I was like, well, we should have been more ready for the sound check even. You know what I mean? Because I know those guys. Those guys are all super nice there too. Everybody at 40 Watt's awesome. Oh, yeah. I don't know his name. He's got blonde hair. Anyways, he's a sound guy there, and he was super nice guy as well. And like I was
Gary's
like,
the main guy. He's
that's it. It's Gary. Yeah, Gary. Okay, yeah, he's super cool. Like I see some bands really dragging ass at sound check sometimes. I'm like, God, these guys want to go home, man. Like they don't want to sit at this venue all day. They're working. You know what I mean?
So and people don't understand that like the crew that's like handling the sound can leave like after they finish sound checking. They don't necessarily need to be there. It's like the longer that you take the sound check is just the longer that they have to be in the venue. They don't have to be.
Yeah, that's I saw that a couple times. Like, hey, you guys might want to come on. Maybe you shouldn't run your whole EP at sound check. Maybe.
Exactly. Plus, like so many of these sound people like literally do it from night to night.
Yeah,
like, they get tired of dealing with young college kids who have no idea what they're doing.
I believe that.
I know from experience of being one of those college kids who have no idea what he was doing sound checking.
You learn as you go, though. I mean, that's part of the process, I assume. Mm-hmm. So, would you have any tips for? Actually, one second. Let me check and make sure we're still filming. iPad life. Mm-hmm. Oh, we're golden. Give him a little wave. Nice.
How's everybody doing?
All right. Okay, what I was going to say is, do you have any tips for bands? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're kind of covering them now, but like, for the booking process and maybe
tips
even the venue.
For bands or for people booking?
For the bands, as a booker. I don't think that's the right word, but, you know what I mean? Like, tips on how to be a better bookie. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Venue etiquette, stuff like that, maybe.
Just be as nice as possible. Mm-hmm. Come as prepared as you possibly can be. And I know that's kind of like cliche advice, but just having your setup as clean and simple, having the bare minimum amount of gear and know exactly what you're doing when you get up there. Like it might help to like draw out a stage plot before you go out, know exactly what you need.
Is that a good idea, you think, for bands to have their stage plot printed out and just give it to the sound guy?
Yes. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Most big bands will come in with that. Obviously, I mean, if you're just like a 3-piece guitar, bass, drums, it's not all that important. But I mean, if you have more gear,
keyboards and stuff.
And still, I mean, even if you have a 3-piece, but like you have like a specific amp setup or something, like sound guys want to see that. Like, it makes it a lot easier on them.
Yeah, I think we had to. I can only speak for myself, I guess, but like I had the problem of like assuming that they already know. Like everybody at the venue knows what my band does, and like they know our whole history, but they don't.
Yes.
You know, they don't.
I've made that same mistake.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, like they're gonna know we're a 5-piece, and my buddy's on the left side. Like, no, they don't fucking care.
Most of the time, they won't know anything until the day of. Just because they have so many other bands going on each night, they'll have multiple artists. Like they can't keep up with it.
How could they? You know what I mean? So that's good to know. The stage plot.
That and social media. If you're trying to get booked, social media is like one of the most important things.
You mean like as in being active on it, or being like super big on it, or as in like just promoting on it?
Honestly, just having high engagement. Any of those options works fine. I'll admit. So like as we were talking about before, it's kind of sucked. Like some of the bigger, more popular artists we've had come through, like especially from just Spotify listens, haven't had as good of shows as like smaller college bands,
local bands.
Just because so much of it comes down to like how many people you have in a specific city. Like it doesn't matter how many people you have who are fans if they aren't in that city. It doesn't really matter.
Like you could sell out something in Athens, but you can't sell out something in Mississippi.
Exactly.
That sort of thing, or opposite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Precisely. And it's sad, honestly, sometimes because you'll see these like really, really impressive bands that can sell out places other places play at the 40 Water in Athens, and like there are 15 people there. You know?
That's such a bummer, yeah.
But like looking at social media, especially Instagram, and seeing like, oh, here they're playing in front of a packed house, like that's a band that I would try to book for sure.
That makes sense.
Because that can mean more than Spotify listens, especially if it's at a venue and where you're booking. Like if I see that they played like some fraternity house in Athens and like it looked like a rager of a show, like they're probably going to get.
That's a good tip right there. Okay, see, that makes sense. Like just like tracing back your ticket sales. What was I going to say? I think it's more important. I've thought about this a lot because like we all like, I don't know if you do, but like most artists, I guess, like we romanticize the whole playlisting thing. Like I want to get playlists. I want to get 1 million streams. But like it doesn't fucking matter if they don't come to the show. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to be opposite. I'm trying to get people to come to the shows, and I don't care if I have 1,000 streams. You know what I mean? As long as people come to shows, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I want to build the live audience, and I think people try to skip that nowadays. You know what I mean? Like they just want to have their hit, and we got it now. We're good. We got 1 million streams. See ya.
Well, that's kind of where the music scene went over the last like 15 or so years. But I mean, obviously there are people who know far more about this than I do, but over the last like 10 or less than that, like 5 years, as streaming's become more relevant, I feel like more people have found like, oh, okay, we need to play live.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's where you make most of your money nowadays.
I think now that people have realized that streaming's not the big coin, I guess, like you have to play live, which is great. I think that's cool.
And I think it's incredible.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Like, I don't think it matters your style of music. I think the ultimate showcase of what you're like as a musician and as a person is your live show.
I completely agree.
Like jam bands are fun. Like I love seeing jam bands live, but even if you're going to see like an indie rock band, like an alternative rock group, or just like a rock and roll band, like you have to be able to put on a show live.
That's so true. That's like ridiculously true. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like if it doesn't hold up live, none of it matters. You know what I mean?
Like I think it's awesome to make really, really beautiful studio music and to spend time like layering guitar parts and everything and just making everything as beautiful. Exactly.
Yeah.
And obviously not all of that is expected in the live version of it. Yeah. But it's disappointing, honestly, when you go to a show for a band that you really, really like their studio stuff and like it's flat, you know, it doesn't have the same kind of energy.
I can see that. I kind of worry about that too. Like sometimes I'm recording stuff, I'm like, hey, is this gonna translate? Like, is this gonna work? But then sometimes I kind of think of them as I go back and forth with this, but like I go back and forth between thinking they're separate entities and they're not. But like I'm trying to lately keep it to where I can still play it live, not to make it all about me, but you know what I mean? Like, do you do that? Where would you be on that? You try to keep it as live as possible?
Right with you.
Okay, cool.
Want to make it so we're Alien Funk Academy.
We're gonna talk about that. I got that on the to-do list.
Yeah, it's funny. Like when I first came to college, I was obsessed with like Pink Floyd and making beautiful sounding studio works.
Spending a year in the stew.
Exactly. And now it's like, I want to make something that we can do live and have it have the same effect. Like I'm a big guitar solo guy. Like I love doing that kind of stuff. But it's ironic. Like on this album, like I'm thinking like, okay, I don't really want all that many solos. I want all the sections to be like these tightly knit sections that all go together with the transitions that work perfectly.
That's interesting. That's growth, man.
Hopefully, thank you.
Well, that's cool. I'd say so too, man. I've liked what I've been trying to do is like take a song, write it, work on it with your band, play it live, tweak it, and then record it. That's the kind of thing I'm trying to do. Like see what the audience likes about it, cut out dead weight or make it longer if you need to, whatever.
That's the easiest way to tell.
Yeah, I think so too. And the studio, man, like I've only recorded one song live like that, but I was like, dude, we're fucking done. Like, dude, that took no time.
That can be some of my favorite songs. The ones that were just recorded
all
live.
Those great albums that are live, you know. And it's like, damn, I used to spend like yada 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 on guitar, and then I do fucking 200 takes, and then I do the drums fucking 50 times. It's like, damn, we just did that in 3 takes. Like, let's go home. That was awesome. That was great.
There's something special about being able to play with your bandmates at the same time. Like I don't know about you, but I absolutely hate like just putting on the headphones and listening to the track back and like playing your parts. Like, it just sucks compared to like being in the room with drums, you know? Like there's nothing like actually being in the room with a drummer.
I agree.
When you can feel it as opposed to just hearing
it.
Yeah.
Push pull. This has been a lot of my songs were individual. And I don't hate them that way. There's a lot of records that were made separate like that I love. Mm. But I want to start making them more like you say, together. So there's a push and pull. If anything, you get the drums and the bass, just like that's what it's about catching, you know. It's pretty cool, I think. So yeah, I almost talk about that every other podcast just because I love it so much. I love talking about the whole recording and like, oh yeah, should I record individually or as a band? And I go back and forth between two because some albums I love that are individually. Yeah, they definitely both have their place. So yeah, I forgot where I was going with that too. What were we talking about?
I don't know, but one thing it led me to, I realized part of the reason why I love live music so much is just because it has the natural echo and reverb on it. Just because most of the time you'll see live bands set up microphones like on the stage and sometimes in the audience just so they get like the ambient sound, and sometimes when you're listening to studio music, it doesn't have that same kind of
it's like all artificial
reverberant field. Exactly.
I've been interested in that too, like echo chambers and reverb plates, like real ones. Like I've wanted to record with stuff like that, and just the room catch, you know, your room mics or whatever. I think stuff like that is super interesting because like you catch it on the room mic, you're not fixing anything. You know what I mean? Like it's there, which I think is pretty dope. I like on live recordings when they have two mics facing the crowd. I just
can
like
hear
that.
it. I want to be able to hear everything the fans are doing.
Yes, because I have one live recording of us and we don't have it. The crowd sounds so quiet and I can't really tweak it to like make it a little louder even, you know. And I'm like, damn it, I wish I could just hear what that guy just said to me to relive it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah. Anyways, recording, talking about bands. We were talking about something I was gonna mention. We were talking about 40 Watt. We're going to talk about Alien Funk Academy. Yes, that was it. Okay. Lost my train of thought there. All right. So how did this start? And run me down on the whole Mission members origin story thing.
Word. So ironically, actually, so right now it's just me and one other guy, Matthew Meganson. And he was actually the drummer in Peter Street.
Peter Street. Okay. So you guys are back around to each other.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Now we actually live together, so it makes it very, very convenient for making music. And I actually remember he came up with the idea for the name Alien Funk Academy.
That's a cool name,
back then when we were with Peter Street. And I remember like we had just written this song, and it was like kind of like a weird, more psychedelic vibe thing, which is the stuff that I like to write and come up with. And he was like, all right, this song needs like a weird name. Like, what if we named it Alien Funk Academy? And I was just like, what the fuck did you just say? Like, that was the coolest thing I think I've ever heard.
That's a cool name, man.
Thank you.
Because it fits the vibe. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like from what I've seen on you guys' live stream, I think or maybe it wasn't live stream. Maybe it was just a video. But
I saw done like two of those live or the Instagram lives that like become just a video in there.
I saw it and I was like, all right, that name fits in perfect. That's nice. And I think you guys have a logo now.
Yeah, he came up with it.
Cool little alien guy, right?
Yep, that's
pretty sweet. I like it. And what happened to Cannon? Is Cannon still in the band?
So Cannon left. I think he wants to focus more on his singer-songwriter stuff. Yes,
okay, exactly. That's understandable.
Which is like incredible. I don't know if you listened to much of it.
He's been on the podcast. He's awesome.
Right? Yeah. He's very, very talented.
Such a nice
One
guy.
of the best guitar players in Athens.
He is, man. He does cool slide stuff, and he has very like just an interesting way he plays, I think.
And he just picked up playing the lap steel like out of nowhere, and then started playing with another one.
He's got like a big cello in his house. And I was like, damn.
I think he started out on double bass. Maybe I'm not entirely certain.
I saw he was playing lap steel in I guess it's a Dead cover band.
Yeah,
right.
Another one.
Okay, and that's like. Is it a guy named Will in there?
Yeah, Will Ruff. It's like some of the Family Recipe guys, and then Sherwin too.
Okay, that's cool though. I saw they played somewhere. I was like, damn,
they're awesome. We've had them for a couple of our parties in my house.
Yeah, okay. I want to see them, and hopefully we can have some shows soon and do that.
They're a good time. I remember we had them like several months ago, and
was it in like December? Didn't you guys do one then? I couldn't make it. I remember we talked about it.
It was before that. It was that was a different party. But we had them, and I remember they're only supposed to play for an hour and a half, and like for that hour and a half, like people were coming up to me and saying like, "Yo, like this band is so good. Like, where'd you find them?" Blah, blah. And then they ended, and like, but the party wasn't done. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I just went up to them and I was like, "Holy cow! Is there anything we can do to get you guys to keep on playing?" So
no problem.
They kept on going for like another hour and a half. Damn. They basically doubled their set, just like doing old Dead covers, and they're like, Well, I mean, we could, but we'd probably have to jam for a while. And I was like, dude, like that's the greatest thing I think I've ever heard you say.
Go ahead, man.
And it was perfect. Like
Yeah,
they just
send
jammed for the while. They probably only did like 5 or 6 songs for that next
For an
like
hour?
hour and a half or whatever. But like
Jeez.
it was perfect.
Yeah?
Like I mean, all those guys are just such good musicians too.
I can see that,
They're
yeah.
all like music school students,
I
know how
can
to
totally see
play
that, yeah. They know it,
everything
yeah.
out there, just
They
pulling
got it
out
down.
different tricks.
That's awesome. I want to see them because they're cool. I know Sherwin's a nice guy and Cannon. I guess.
Hell of a drummer.
Yeah, he is. He really is, man. I love watching him. I don't know if you. I think you were at that show, the Underground Spring House at the theater.
Mm.
That was such a great show. I thought that was great. We talk about that one all the time.
I was blown away. They put on such a show.
Like an actual show.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like not just a band playing. Like they
They
had, like,
put on
like
a
the balls
show.
and
There's
stuff,
a
throwing them
different-
out. Yeah, it was great. It was really great. We
Their
talk
cover selection was just spot on.
It was
too.
nice. It was nice. I remember that was my first night working at theater. I was like, "Holy shit, man, this is nice." I was like,
Wait, so what do you do at the theater? I don't think I've ever asked.
"I'm security in, you know what I mean, security in theory, but like cleaning up, checking doors, sitting by the stage, making sure nobody gets out of hand, make sure nobody puts their drinks on the stage, that kind of stuff." I like it, but I actually talked to my manager. He was on the podcast like a month ago. And he said no real word on opening back up yet, but like maybe April, like maybe. And I had proposed to him this selling 1/3 amount of tickets to keep everybody distance or whatever, and charging 3 times as much. And I think it was him that told me that it's really not about the ticket money; it's about the drinks, right? That you guys make.
I mean,
the
that's
money
how most venues make
off
their
the
money at
bar,
this stage.
right? Okay, see, I wasn't completely aware of that. I mean, I had an idea of it, but now I knew it for sure, which is good to know. I feel like it could be doable though. Like, would you go to a show if you had to pay 3x as much and there was 1/3 as many people there for social distancing? Do you think you would?
Right now, I would do just about anything.
I think I would too. I mean,
especially the Georgia Theater, like the most I've paid for a regular show, like $20
yeah,
a show,
20,
like,
maybe 25. I love the theater. Theater's fun.
Oh yeah,
I wish they'd open back up. And how about the Donia though, man? How bummer. You ever play
R.I.P. That was the first place I played in Athens.
Rest in peace, Donia, bro.
Played
That
there
was
like
so sad.
5 or 6 times.
No, it was a bummer for me because I never got to play there. I was
Oh, you never got to play the Caledonia?
Never got to play
What?
it. Somehow
You played at the 41
that's what
before you did the
I'm
Caledonia?
saying. Somehow I skipped around there. Thanks to you. Bless up.
Thank
And what was I gonna say? We were booked to play there finally. I was like, yes, finally gonna get to play the Donia. Little bitty room. It's awesome. I can sell some tickets in here and actually feel like a big artist.
Oh, yeah.
And it was March 23rd, and COVID hits like March 7th.
I had a show. I think it was Hotel Fiction. That was going to be March 22nd or 23rd.
Yeah.
And
At the 40?
Yep.
Dude, such a bummer, dude. Such a bummer. So close. So close.
I love that space just because you can have like 35 people there and it
it's
looks
lit. You know what I mean?
packed.
Yeah, it's like nice in there. You're like, let's fucking go.
And
This
plus
is a
the
fun
sound
time.
quality is
The sound's great. We always talk
incredible.
about this. Yeah, it's such a great sound for such a small venue. And I was wondering, I was like, dude, they have got whoever bought this out. I think it was Church Bar or whatever.
Yep.
They got to keep the music going in there. Come on. Now.
I have not stopped saying that.
There's no way they're gonna tear out all that stuff and just, you know what I mean? Like, why would they? Surely.
If I had to guess, I'd say
Yeah?
they're gonna leave it as like a venue.
I mean, put cover bands in there or something. You know what I mean? Do something with it. Don't tear all that shit out. That was such a great room. And I think it used to be the 40 watt. Have you read about this?
Yeah,
Amy?
back in like the 80s, I think.
Which I think that's very cool. I think stuff like that
There's
is
a lot of
really
history in that
interesting.
room.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I almost had a whole episode on the Caledonia because it's so interesting. Bunch of like crazy, like I love getting on Facebook and searching around for bands that have played there in like the 80s and shit, like Red Hot Chili Peppers and just.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they played there, man.
Holy
See,
cow.
stuff like that's crazy. Are you on Facebook? There's this good page on Facebook you need to get on. You would love it.
What's
It's called. Let me look it up for you right quick. It's called Athens, Georgia Old School. Are you in it by any chance?
No, I don't think so.
Look, I'll send you a link for it. I tell
please.
everybody to join it. It's called Athens Old School, and it's like from like 1910 to 1990.
1910?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So there's some old people in there. It's like all old people, but dude, they talk about like shows and they'll like post pictures of their ticket stubs and like all kind of crazy shows at the theater from like the 70s and stuff that you just never would have known if came there. Like, what's another one? Ah, God, there's so many, but like Red Hot Chili Peppers was one. I was like, what the fuck? They played the Donia? That's crazy, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Well, did you hear about how the Foo Fighters were supposed to play the 40 watt?
Dude, I forgot. I'm so glad you mentioned this because I had forgotten about this. Holy shit, man.
It's gonna be an
I'm
entire
pissed about
surprise.
this, man. That was going to be so sick.
Oh yeah.
And it was like a while ago too. It was like April, right?
Yeah, it was gonna be April.
And I just heard about it a few weeks ago, man. That's fucking nuts. Did you know about this?
I didn't until they released it.
I was about to say,
It was only Valina.
Oh man, dude. That'd have been, and it was gonna be a surprise, right? Like they show up that night or like that week,
or like a couple days before.
The flyer was pretty sweet. Did you see the flyer?
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh my god, that'd have been so sick.
Just a band like I think that's just so cool for a band on the level of the Foo Fighters to do that.
Yeah.
Like that's
what makes those venues
have so
cool.
much respect for Dave Grohl, man. He's one of the coolest people out there.
He seems like the nicest guy in the music industry, maybe.
Oh yeah, entirely.
And like, dude, like,
I'm pretty. Wait, have you read that article?
Which one?
Dave Grohl, the nicest man, or I think it's that. Someone said it in our Embus chat.
Yes, I did read it. Yes, it was super interesting. I know what you're talking about. I haven't read it in a while, but it was. He's got a fascinating way he talks, kind of. But I think, if I was an arena band, I feel like I'd do that. I mean, I know it's easy to say, but like, dude, like, I feel like if I was playing arenas, I'd be like, fuck, dude, let's do a show at the 40 Watt in Georgia Theater. That would be so sick. You know what I mean? Because they're an arena-sized band, and I mean, that's what kind of makes those venues special. Is like, dude, the arena-sized band will come play here. You know what I mean? And sometimes they will. That shows you how special it is, man.
That's my favorite part about the 40 Watt. Like, they brought me on to book tiny, tiny bands that no one's heard of, and they also were gonna have the Foo Fighters. Like,
you can't beat that, man. That's awesome. And it's got such a good vibe in there, and just like I love the whole history of it. Like I love like getting online and looking up like details about the Nirvana show when they played there and stuff like that. I don't know if you do that, do you?
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's like I wish there was like a catalog of like who's played the 40 Watt.
Well, like back in the pool room. Have you been back to the pool room? Like when you're looking at the stage, it's like that room off to the left.
Okay, so you go in through the back.
You're looking at the stage.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. Yeah, we
like
put our gear over there.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
They have a bunch of old posters from.
Do they?
Like old shows, like B-52s, Panic.
That's awesome. Pylon stuff.
They have a Queens of the Stone Age one that one of my old roommates actually found for me. Like found a print of it and gave it to me for my birthday once.
That's
one of the greatest gifts I think I've ever gotten.
Yeah.
Queens of the Stone Age, 40 Watt.
Was it with Dave on drums? Or do you know?
I think it was a little after that. Because he was just with them for their first album, right?
Yeah, one, I think.
It was like in the late 90s, I believe. But just such a cool poster.
That's awesome. I love stuff like that. There's like, I don't know if you've seen the one, I always talk about this one, the Pearl Jam at Legion Field. Have you seen the poster for this one?
Yeah.
I think that's so cool, man.
I can't even imagine like Pearl Jam playing in the middle of our campus. Like,
I wish they still did shows at Legion Field and Stegman Coliseum.
Yeah, for real. What's been up with that?
I don't know. Apparently the acoustics in Stegman are terrible. There's like a lot of reviews. Really? Like Dylan came to Stegman and apparently the acoustics were terrible. That was like the reviews for the night.
Well, I've heard that about lots of big arenas. Like just because I mean they're not built for.
Yeah, they're definitely not made for it. But I'd still go see it. I mean, as long as it wasn't like unbearable, I'd go see a cool band there. Of course. I wish they would do that. That'd be fun. But anyways, another thing I was gonna ask you: are you still in fraternity?
Yep.
Okay, so what is the scene there? I don't really know anything about that whole thing. Like, are they still doing shows? Fraternities and sororities?
Do you know? Not nearly as many as we used to. I mean, I kind of took over the position of handling most of our like live music bookings for whenever we'd have like tailgates or socials.
I mean, that's like an every weekend thing last year though, right?
Multiple times per week, and I would like lose track of some of the bands, and it was just I didn't realize like how much fun I was having because I met so many people in bands in Athens, and I mean. As a little side note, one of the things that I've noticed is the coolest people tend to be the ones in bands. Yeah. So I got to know like all these insanely cool people. Yeah. And then now we've had like 2 or 3 band parties maybe. I mean, most places, I don't think any fraternities or sororities are allowed to have any like events at the house. So we've been doing some more like in off-campus locations like where I live.
Okay, that's cool. That's a cool way to do it. I didn't realize that they weren't allowing them to. I kind of wondered if it was still a free-for-all out there. Because I know they like do shows in like their yards and stuff. Like they get stages, like big stages, big bands would come out. I was like, damn, that's awesome. I wonder if they're still doing that. Because that's
not so much anymore. Yeah. I would have invited you if we
you totally should. Who was the last band you had at your house? I really wanted to come. I think it was it Family Recipe? I feel like it was last fall. It was cold outside.
Constant, I think.
How are they? I've only seen them once, and they were pretty cool.
Oh, they're incredible.
They seem like such nice guys too.
Oh yeah, I've got to know some of them. I was gonna they were gonna play the 40 watt sometime.
No,
in,
I remember you guys talking about that.
Yeah, I was so excited because we were gonna keep it as a bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
And it was gonna be it was probably gonna be the biggest show that I had put on myself, and I was like, holy cow, how am I doing this? What am I doing right now? And then everything happened. But we've gotten them for obviously pre-COVID. We got them I think 2 times since I was a freshman. And they're just some of the coolest guys.
Yeah, they seem so easygoing and they have a great following, it seems like, and appropriately so. They have good songs. I like their album Peel. Have you listened to it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Nice guys. I like Sam. And,
I was going to see him for New Year's Eve, but they
Yeah.
had to cancel a couple days.
So depressing.
Understandably.
I just had to cancel 2 shows this month, bro. It's really getting on my
Sorry.
nerves. Really getting on my nerves.
It's getting old.
It's getting real old, man. I feel like April. I keep saying April. I feel like April's going to be game on, baby. What do you think?
The only thing that I think at this point is that I have no idea what I'm talking about. I remember like over the summer thinking, oh, like we're definitely going to have shows by the time school rolls
August?
around. Yep. So I remember I sent out several messages saying I want to do, because it was after a lot of the Black Lives Matter protests, I want to do some kind of like
I remember this.
like BLM benefit show. And I wanted to have a couple, like a concert series, and just have different one with like metal music, one with like rap and R&B, like just one with EDM, like as many as we could put on. And then obviously that happened is the
depressing,
thing. But hopefully we'll be able to do it at some point.
I think so. I still have hope. We'll get back in the game. Get back in the game. But yeah, I think that's all I have for you. Do you have any favorite bookings or any favorite bands you booked or favorite booking moment? Because it's like you're throwing a party.
Oh yeah, that's what I love most about it. That's how I describe it.
Is that your favorite part? Because you're pretty much the guy who's got the party and it's your house and you're like, yeah.
Well, you're flattering me for sure.
This kicks ass. It really does.
There really is there's no better feeling than walking around the night of a show and like just seeing people have a good time. Yeah. Because like I've had some of my favorite moments of my life, like just at live music shows. And
yeah, totally.
I remember thinking like, I'm just so glad this happened. Like, I'm so glad like this was made a thing into a thing that I could do tonight, and just being able to be on the other side is incredible.
Yeah.
With that being said, Hotel Fiction, I think, might be my favorite band to have booked.
Really? Nice ladies.
Oh yeah, super nice girls. Not exactly my style of music. We went through what I like earlier, but with that being said, I really think they are one of like the top 3 best quote Athens bands right now.
I'd say so too. Easily. Like they're going to be huge, it seems like.
Oh yeah.
To me, in my opinion.
They have the music for it. They have the potential for it. They have the talent for it. They have the marketing skills they need. Like they're
super nice. That's always a plus. Yeah.
Super easy to work with. But I remember like, so I've booked them I think twice. And the first time, like I didn't know them all that much.
Yeah. They came onto the scene so quick.
Yeah, you know, and they weren't an old group at all.
Yeah.
And I remember that at that point was the biggest show that I'd booked. It was like right under 300 people, which was already like a mindfuck. I was like, holy cow, this is awesome.
That's
like,
a lot of tickets, man.
Because like Valina usually only expects me to get like 100, a little over that. And like they brought out all these people, and they all knew their songs too. Like I remember like looking around the audience, like they were singing every single song with them, and I was like, "How do you do this? How do you like get a following, a fan base this quickly?" Like,
please tell me.
Oh yeah. And then I remember by the second time, like it was that, but like times 15. Like they had 350 something people out. Again, everyone knew every word to all the songs. They're all wearing Hotel Fiction shirts and everything.
They make their own merch and shit. That's smart.
They have it down. They put on a great show. Also, they have some rock and roll to them too. Like they do like a lot of like softer singer-songwriter stuff, but like they're rock stars.
Yeah, they move. Like I saw a video of her. I think I was at the first one maybe, and not the second one. But one of the girls was like dancing around and shit, and like moving around with the mic. I was like, all right, they got it now. The stage presence is there. They're good. What they're doing. They're gonna be fucking humongous, I'm sure. And they're super original sounding too. I think. Oh yeah. You know what I mean? I need to have them on the podcast too. They're such nice. They do it.
It's beautiful music. Yeah. So Everyday Dogs put on a hell of a show.
They did. I was there for that one. That was a fun one. They always do. They're really fun. Yeah.
They're an incredible band.
They're solid consecutive winners to go see live. I'd go see them live every time I can.
Them and I'm a sucker for Family Recipe.
I like Family Recipe. Yeah, I didn't get Family Recipe until I saw them at the theater. That was the first time I saw them. I was like, all right, these dudes kick ass. I was like, this is dope. The little I don't know what's the little guitar he has.
The mandolin.
Yeah, is that a mandolin?
Yeah. So Will Ruff, I think he's a violin major. I'm not entirely certain. But obviously, I mean, a violin and a mandolin are basically the same instrument.
Potato, right?
Yeah. You just like play them differently, and like there's some specifications.
I thought there was a string difference, right? Isn't there different strings?
Well, no, I think they have the same. They're tuned to the same notes, I believe, but the mandolin's double stringed. And obviously you play a mandolin like a guitar, and then a violin like a violin.
Gotcha. Okay.
But he like switches over to mandolin to play all the rock shows, and I just think it's such a cool.
And then they still don't sing any, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what.
But like you wouldn't notice it. Like I remember the first time I saw him, like I didn't notice until like well into their like the second half of their set.
Super interesting.
Yeah, because like it's not just like people getting up there and like soloing and just going as long as they can. Like they have
like really tasteful,
they have
melodies.
everything planned out.
Yeah, which is super cool. And I remember being blown away. Like, damn, they didn't even have a singer, and they were really fucking good. Like usually, you at least have to have some vocals, you know. And that was awesome. Do you know Quentin? I think Quentin in the band. Quentin played on a few of my songs. He's a great.
Oh, really?
He's so good. He's so good at bass, man. So good. What was I gonna say?
Yep,
I like Big Chungus too.
Oh, I love Big Chungus.
Big Chungus is dope.
I'm a big fan.
Big Chungus is so much fun.
I've been trying to get them for the 40 watt for a long time. It's just hard because everyone in the band is in another group too. Like they pull from like AFTM.
Yeah, Jackson, right?
Yeah, Jackson's in Himalayan Pool Party and like 15 other bands. And like I gave him like 5 or 6 dates, like the best ones that I had, because I mean I knew they would do really well, and like they couldn't do any of them understandably because they're all in other successful groups.
It'd be funny to see what they could do though. They're really fun to watch, I think.
Oh yeah.
And then they don't sing much either, do they? I think the one time I see them, I think Jackson sang a little bit maybe, which they didn't need to because it was so interesting. I like Jerry on the keys.
Oh wait,
his name on Facebook is Jerry.
Cherry, John Cherry.
Yeah.
He's one of the greatest keys players in Athens, honestly.
He's so tasty and like just a nice guy as well. He's super funny. Yeah, I'm trying to get him to come out and sit in with us one time, but I think we can wrap it up now. It's been an hour 13. That flew by.
Wow.
That's always a good one. When it goes over an hour, I always know that I had a good time.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Jim.
Thank you so much for coming out. It's been so much fun, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah, for
sure. Piece of cake. Say goodbye to the people.
See ya, everybody.
Thank you all for tuning in to Jameson on the Rocks. Today's guest was Bradley Reeves, episode 20. Great time. Thank you all for watching this far. If you enjoyed it, let us know in the comments and all that good stuff. Thank you so much. We'll see you. Bye.
See ya.
Let's have another drink and we'll. What a beautiful time to take over the world. What a beautiful time. She's up down on America go. What a beautiful way to take the world by storm. Now it's you and stop. Don't you want? You do want? You do want? You do want to hold? You do want?